Hello to all my YouTube families. Before we get started on my video, in this collaboration here to cook some of these Guyanese treats for Phagwa, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Holi, happy Phagwa from my YouTube family to your family, your entire family. I hope everyone is eating all the savory food and delicious sweets. So before we get started, I'm going to show you what I got going on here. For me, Phagwa bring back a lot of memories of all the good times we had when Mom used to cook all those savory treats and all those delicious sweets. That's what Phagwa is all about. That brings family and people together to celebrate regardless of your race or your religion.
Happy Holi!
Hello family, once again Phagwa is upon us. Holi festival, season of love, life, and good over evil. Follow us on YouTube for sweet savory treats. In our Guyanese collaboration, we will be sharing some of your favorite recipes on Caribbean ducks. Welcome to my channel. And if you're new, I want to thank you for joining me. This is my version of a Guyanese style vermicelli cake for the holidays, the Phagwa holidays. And let's get started. First, we're going to start with 1 cup of raisins that I'm going to hydrate with a little bit of water. And we're going to let this sit in here for about 20 minutes. 1 cup of maraschino cherry, the sweet cherry. And 1 cup of golden brown sugar. We're not going to spare anything on this recipe. We're going to make it nice and rich. So I'm going to go in with about 2 ounces of butter. I know I'm cutting off more here, but only half of that I'm going to use. These are our spices that I'm using. Nutmeg, cinnamon, star anise, cardamoms, 2 types of cardamoms, and a bit of cloves. We're going to use 2 cans of evaporated milk and 2 cups of whole milk, 1 can of condensed milk, that's the sweet milk, and this is optional. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of custard powder, 10.5 ounces of vermicelli noodles, and a half a cup of powdered milk. And this is the real stuff. This is vanilla extract, the real vanilla extract, going in with a half a tablespoon. First, we're going to go in with our butter. We're going to melt that down on slow heat. That's about 2 ounces of butter. Gonna melt it down. This is what we're gonna use to parch our noodles. So before we get started, what I like to do is I'm gonna snap these noodles in half. Makes it easier to turn and manage in the pot. This is a classic recipe, guys. My mom used to make this recipe. So here it goes. We're gonna brown and parch these noodles. So we're gonna have a variety of white and parch noodles here, like a tricolor. That's what we want to achieve here. So you have a variation of different colors. And we're gonna make some of it nice and brown and parched. This is absolutely necessary. Some people would use ghee also to do this. Next, I'm gonna go in with my milk. 2 cups of whole milk, 2 cans of carnation milk. Now keep in mind, I'm doing this a bit differently. Some people will start their noodles in water and boil it so it'll get tender in advance. But since I'm using all these milks, I'm gonna let it cook into the milk. And now we'll give it all a nice mix and let everything combine. And we're gonna go in with the rest of the ingredients. Now I'm gonna go in with my powdered milk. That's a half a cup of powdered milk. And we're gonna let that dissolve and blend right in. This is what we're looking like here now. I just added in my custard powder as well, 2 tablespoons of custard powder. And we're gonna get that dissolved. Now we're going with our spices. Our cardamom, star anise, cloves, and cinnamon. And as we're coming up to a boil here, I noticed that it's getting thicker. So I'm just gonna add like 1 cup of water and continue to stir it. And we add our sugar. So now at this point, we're gonna give it a nice mix so the sugar could dissolve as well. And we're gonna let everything combine. Now I'm going in with about a half grated nutmeg. And keep in mind, guys, I have this on very low heat because we don't want all the sugar on the bottom of the pot to settle and catch and burn. So keep in mind also that we must constantly stir this pot. Now I'm going in with my raisin with the water and everything all together. And we're gonna let everything hydrate and cook in the milk for now. And this will take about 15 to 20 minutes here. Just let it simmer on very low heat while you stir it, just to prevent anything from burning again. Gotta have patience when you're cooking, folks. If you have patience, that means that you're cooking with love. Take your time, you'll get it right. Now for our maraschino cherries, I'm gonna cut them in halves. This is a cup of maraschino cherry. I'm gonna save that for towards the end. Now it's been about 20 minutes. And what I'm gonna do here now is fish some of those spices out, like the cardamom and the cloves. And the star anise, gonna fish it out. We're gonna leave the cinnamon sticks in. That's much easier to remove as we're serving. Our raisins are plumping up really well. Now I'm gonna get it up to temperature to a boil and add our noodles, our vermicelli noodles in. And continue the cooking process. Now keep in mind that this time it's gonna thicken up very fast, so you constantly have to turn it because it's evaporating and the starches are thickening the pot. So we want to keep a close eye on that and constantly move it around so it doesn't burn. Simple recipe, easy. The smell in the house is just so wonderful. Reminds me of the holiday seasons when Mom used to cook all these good treats for us. So as you can see here, some of the liquids are evaporated while we're continuously stirring, and the noodle is getting nice and tender. So now I'm gonna go in with about a cup of hot water to continue the cooking process until the noodle is well cooked. And we're gonna test it by pinching it between our fingers, making sure that there's no grains or no lumps into the noodles. And when it's fully cooked, that's when we're gonna turn the heat off. Now towards the end, we're coming in here towards the end. I'm gonna add my cherries because we don't want the cherry to bleed out and color the entire dish. We want the cherry to stay whole, not melt out and color. So we're gonna put that in towards the end. And at this point, I'm turning the heat off. The noodles are well cooked. Everything is well flavored and smelling awesome. So what I'm gonna do to make this cake form, I got a bowl that I'm gonna grease, and then I'm gonna pour my mixture into the bowl and let it set and cool down and keep that shape. This is a very rich recipe, guys. For every little portion, it's like heaven. So this is it, folks. My beautiful vermicelli cake. I topped it off with some cherry and some sliced almonds. Hope you guys like my recipe. Leave your comments, subscribe, like, and share. At this time, I would like to thank all my Guyanese collaborators on this YouTube videos. I'd like to thank Cooking with Ash, Nicky's Family, Being Rocky, and up next will be Hook and Cook Real Life. Please make sure to watch all our videos. We want to thank you for your support and all your kind comments. Please continue watching for our next collaboration. You guys have a wonderful holiday. God bless you. Stay safe.